Good evening, and what a beautiful evening it is. Yes, I know. I'm trying to keep the hair from getting away on me, but that's okay. You know, we've got to live for the cause, and so getting a haircut is, I guess, part of that. So how is your day going? Today is Thursday. It's been a busy day for me, and at the same time a good day. And here I sit in the Bethel Heritage Park. So absolutely gorgeous. Look at the sunset. Still almost, it's funny, some evenings it seems like it stays brighter longer. Well, maybe today I just looked at my watch, it's 8 minutes to 10. Bedtime, curfew, whatever else you want to call it. Well, it's interesting times with the way things are continuing to happen, whether it's COVID, whether it's the vaccine, whether it's 12% inflation or thereabouts, as CNBC reported back a couple of days ago in the United States. A real quiet destruction of wealth is what they call it. Yet, I'm sure many people won't realize that until some things happen, and maybe they don't. But at the same time, we've got things that are really interesting. I had a chance to interview Brunel Sabran and Terra Agronomy at St. Jean. Him and his wife Jennifer run a great agronomy service for farmers in that area. They don't cover too much as far as they are concerned. They like to cover what they cover well. And the question I also asked him today was, I like going to him because he's an independent. He's not selling product. And so many people are selling product and making decisions based and recommendations based on the product they sell. I mean, that's just the way the so-called free enterprise system works. But more importantly, he told me that we've got the good, we've got the great, the good, bad, and the ugly as far as crops are concerned. In fact, he said in some of the areas, the crops have been assessed at anywhere from 10 to 12 and 15 bushels an acre on earlier seeded wheat and cereals. And that's obviously not all over the place, but some indication that we have the good, the bad, and the ugly as far as crop development is concerned. And the same thing too, he says, we've been in a relative drought stage for 2 to 3 years, and therefore the grasshoppers have just been building up. So farmers are spraying ditches and field edges and maybe even going into the field a round or two in order to make sure they get rid of the grasshoppers which are coming on. And we just basically finished with the flea beetle in canola. And that too is a challenge for farmers. Sure, we can control it, but it costs money. And then he said he's hoping they're going to be able to put on the products that look after the mold in wheat and some other crops. And so, whether it's mold, I just can't quite think of the name right now. But he says if they put that on, you've got a crop coming. And so right now is the time when the cereals, he said, really put on the bushels. That's when they're looking to see how much they can put on in order for that to then develop later on. And so we've got crops all over. There are some places the crops are doing absolutely fantastic. Up in southwest Manitoba, yes, Jason Hildebrandt at I think Crystal City told me that things are looking really good, and crops are taken off. You know, we had that moisture last week. In many cases, as Brunel told me, an average of maybe an inch and a half, some places 3, some places less. And then we had the heat again. And that heat just took that crop and shot it up. And of course, now it's going to need moisture probably sooner than later. But you know what? I'm not in charge of that. You're not in charge of that. The good Lord is, and so we'll just have to bide our time. For the meantime, farmers manage their crops with crop protection products. And so that's what's going on right now. And I just wanted to come on, and hadn't been here for a few days. I'm still fighting the vertigo, and today a vertigo specialist doctor called me from the Health Sciences Center and basically says it takes a year after a fall like I had in December to totally heal, in some cases longer, some cases shorter. So that's what I'm continuing to deal with on a daily basis. Some days it's more, some days it's less. As Brunel talked about the crops, sometimes we can take it from the good, the bad, and the ugly. The last couple of days it's been somewhat different, but I covet your prayers, and covet your prayers not only just for me, but for all those people that continue to struggle. You know, we kind of lost sight of those people that go to hospitals, those people that have to be taken away to Alberta. We have at least one. And those people that have been taken to Ontario, maybe as far away as Toronto, I don't know. And yet family members have to stay back here, and they ship off their loved one and hope and pray that they will see him or her again in a better state when he or she comes back. So we need to lift each other up in prayer. We need to encourage each other, whether you have the vaccine or not. You know, we have far too much of this talking about whatever. And so, hey, I just hope and pray that as we continue to move through this, that borders will open, homes will open, playgrounds will open. And, you know, that's why this park, wide open, people can come here. They come here and play soccer. I noticed, quite a gathering here in the park when I a parking lot when I came up here. But you know what? What am I to say? I just saw what I saw, and that's all good. So for now, I just trust that the good Lord will continue to uphold you, you know, and we have to reach out to him. Yes, there's a certain amount of reaching out he does to us, but we also need to reach out to him. And often when we reach out to him, somehow we embrace others as we're reaching out to him. And so I encourage you to do so. We can see lots of churches on television. We see lots of churches on the internet. We can hear it on radio. It's what we do with Jesus in our life that really matters the most. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And what did Jesus say to Thomas? I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man, no woman, no child comes unto the Father but by me. Thank you, Jesus, for being here. Thank you for watching. I trust that you will have a great night. God bless. Somewhere, sometime, somehow, I will see you again. That's Siemens says. Right on. And there I am under the light.